go ahead and I'll just be distracting. We're sitting here for a couple more minutes just to get actually.
You want me to begin? Perfect. Awesome. All right. Well, it's nice to be here with you. My name's Michala, and we'll be practicing together tonight for a yin session. My idea for the evening was to focus on upper body, chest opening and lung area of things in the body, but we'll also get a little bit into the hips and the legs as well. So I'll invite you to start off seated today. And we'll just find a comfortable seated for our body. Welcome. Thank you for coming. My name is Michala, and a thumbs up to the camera if you can hear me. We're gonna begin seated, taking a moment to orient ourselves to the surroundings. So you can start to just send your eyes around the room before you decide to soften the eyelids closed or look down to the earth. Begin here to make the transition inward. Take some time to recognize all of the events from your day and all of the reasons that you are arriving on your mat for this practice. Begin to invite awareness to the senses around you. Start to become aware of any sounds you hear around the building. Recognize the feeling of your body making contact with the floor. And also take awareness of any temperatures, smells, or feelings around you. Gradually direct your awareness and your attention to your breath. Just feeling how you are breathing today. In your own way and time, begin to direct attention to the places in your body that might need a little bit more tenderness or care from this practice. Sensing the places of tension or pain in your body tonight. And then also honor the places in your body that are feeling healthy and supported. And we'll begin this session by just taking collective breaths together. Let's inhale and circle our arms over our head, reach the fingertips towards the ceiling. And then exhale, take the hands back down to the floor, very slowly moving your hands through this current of air. We'll do that twice more. Inhale, lift your arms over your head. Exhale, float your fingers down. One more. Beautiful. Pause here. And then begin, we're just going to find a few seated folds in this position with our legs crossed. You're going to begin to inch your fingertips forward out in front of you. If you have blocks to support your head, I'll recommend supporting here, or perhaps resting your hands or elbows on the support in front of you. If you have pillows at home, you can use those as well. Here we are finding a very passive space, relaxing all of the muscles around our tissues. Draw awareness to the hips, the base of your body, and see how you might bring softness and ease to this area. I'll invite you to soften your eyes and draw attention inward. Softening the ears away from your neck. Embodying this quality of heaviness, protection, surrender. Stay here for 5 more breaths, taking the time to welcome your body into rest, into the art of letting go. And then when you have reached the end of your last breath, begin to sit your torso up, moving so slowly, sensing what it feels like to find neutral in your spine. And inhale together, circle your arms over your head. Exhale, bend your elbows, broaden the chest, and let the shoulders relax. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, bend the elbows. Perhaps send your eyes up. And do that one more time. Pause. And as you're ready, make your way onto your hands and your knees. From your hands and your knees, I'll invite you to find some organic movement through the torso. So that might look like lifting your chest, dropping your shoulders, sending your eyes forward. And then perhaps looking down, pushing the hands into the floor and rounding your spine.
Oh no.
Just take some time to move back and forth in a way that feels nurturing, sustainable, and safe. And then we'll arrive in a neutral position and shift back to child's pose. So separate your knees wide, take your toes together, and start to lean your weight back. I always recommend finding some sort of support to rest on in front of the body. At any time, you might choose to bring a block or a blanket under your head, taking any strain off of your neck. Spend some time here observing the quality of your breath, the flow of intention moving through your body. See how you might release the need to control, whether that be physically or mentally. Observe what shows up for you. Five more natural breaths for you here. And then slowly let go of support out in front of you. You'll come all the way onto your belly, taking your time, lengthening your torso onto the floor. And you might choose to bend your knees and gently sway your feet back and forth, reorienting your brain to the texture of the yoga mat, the feeling of the air on your body, all other sensations around you. Return your legs down to the floor and we'll arrive in a sphinx shape. So taking your forearms to the floor, stacking your elbows under your shoulders, and allowing your legs to be as wide as they'd like, relaxing any tension throughout the upper body. The practice of yin is a pathway to meditation, an avenue of silence and observation. There's no need to control. Over time, in this shape, you might decide to rest your head forward, perhaps coming onto a block or a pillow. Other options of support are to take a blanket underneath your ribs, and that might offer a little bit more cushion. And as you adjust, welcome your attention and awareness, attention and awareness back to the feeling of your physical body, the sensations in your mental body, the thoughts moving in and out of your mind. And the sensations of your breath body, watching your inhalation and watching your exhalation. See how you might be holding on to tension throughout your face, around your neck, around your eyes. Offer these areas a space of stillness and release. 5 more breaths. With very little effort, start to make your way back down to the floor, pausing and recognizing sensation as it's moving through your spine. From here, we'll reach our right arm off to the side. The right arm is extending straight off of the shoulder joint. And we'll slowly take the left hand, push it into the floor, and turn our body so it's resting on the right side, the right shoulder. You can take a block or blanket to rest your head on here with the arm straight out from your shoulder joint and your hand pressing down to the floor. Relax your legs. Bend your knees as much as you'd like. And as you arrive in this shape, start to notice the flow of your breath, how it might be reaching to the area around your ribs and your collarbones. See how you might expand that breath. Take a moment and see what it is your body might need to feel nurtured. Perhaps you bend your knees closer to your torso, relieve any pressure throughout the spine. Here we are opening the passageways of energy across the arms and throughout the ribs. This space is responsible for our sense of compassion and integrity. Here we can direct awareness to this area through the tool of our breath, sending our breath, expanding the torso, and releasing the torso with every breath out. And gently return your body back to center on the floor. You might decide to take your arms beside you and just integrate, pause, and absorb. And we all can engage together through a collective sigh. So let's breathe in and gently part our lips, breathe out. Left arm is going to extend straight out of the shoulder joint, palm touches the floor. And then our right hand will shift our body over to the left, finding a gentle twist, not looking for anything too intense. And then taking a blanket or block to support the neck in any way you choose. Offering yourself a chance to rest in a sustainable shape. Working the boundaries of sensation and discomfort with pain. Spending a few more moments here, recognizing as thoughts might move in through your mind, recognizing the language of the body. Five more breaths. When you are ready, slowly return your torso down to the mat. Rest your head on your hands, bend into your knees, and rock your feet back and forth. Extend your legs and push your hands into the mat, returning your body to a seat. Take your time, no need to rush. We'll come into a seated position. I always recommend sitting the pelvis on a blanket or a sweater of some sort, just for a touch of elevation in the hips. And we'll move into a little bit of a neck series. Extend your left arm off to the side. Point your fingertips somewhere down towards the floor. And then send your gaze over to your right. Continuing to follow and monitor the rhythm of our breath, sensing how it feels, noticing the texture, watching the flow. Some of us might choose to look down, tucking our chin in towards our right collarbone. Others might decide to pivot the chin up towards the ceiling, just finding the perfect sensation in your neck today. Wherever you are, begin to rotate your head all the way back to neutral. And we're going to bend this left elbow. Take the fingertips up. From here, look over your right shoulder. And then sending the eyes back forward, reaching the arm towards the side. Beautiful. Stretch your fingers. And then returning the hand back towards the knee. Pause here. Inhale, circle the arms over your head, send your eyes up. Exhale, bend the elbows, shoulders relax. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, bend the elbows, broaden the chest. Inhale, reach your arms up. And from here, right hand reaches down somewhere towards the floor, and we'll take the left arm down to the floor. Adjusting the right arm so you feel some sort of stretch. And as you feel ready, you can tuck your chin down to your left collarbone. Experiment by moving your chin down and up, finding the perfect amount of sensation for you today. See how you might let go of resistance, becoming more present with your quality of breath. Over time, we'll begin to lift the head back to neutral and bend the right elbow. Observe sensation, let it be there, let it be part of the practice. Taking a deep breath, relaxing where you might, and then sending your head over the left shoulder. Return your head to center, extend the right arm and the right palm towards the wall. One more breath. And then float the fingers down to the floor. Good. From here, we'll work into a gentle hip stretch. So I want you to take your left heel and guide it back towards your right hip. Direct your knees somewhere forward if you can. And then we're going to cross the right leg over top. So we're finding a gentle cross with the legs. You can always fill in the gap with blocks or blankets. But the idea is to soften through the lower hip joint and the front of the legs. For those with more range of motion who'd like to move deeper, you can always fold forward, resting hands or arms on support in front of you. Or most of us will stay lifted, perhaps even leaning back, just getting to know what it feels like in your body. If it feels safe to do so, you can guide your top heel closer towards your left hip. And just reminding yourself that sensation is part of the practice of awareness and stillness. Move attention to the whole physical body, the feet, the legs, the hips and torso, awareness to your spine, the chest, the arms, shoulders and neck. Recognize where you might be able to let go. And then wherever you are, begin to lift your torso back to neutral. extend your arms way out to the sides, and then cross your left arm in front of your right. Reach your hands back towards your shoulders, or perhaps finding this bind with the hands. I'll invite you to spend 5 more breaths in this shape, perhaps welcoming the energy of the breath into the whole length of your body, expanding your spine and releasing tension. On your next in-breath, open your arms and relax them down by your sides. Lean your weight back so that you can unwind the top leg. Send the top leg behind you. So we're keeping the left knee bent and the right leg is reaching back. Finding this kind of 90-degree shape in your legs. And then I'll invite you to twist, sending your weight and your attention over to the left. From there, you can fold forward onto a bolster or support, or all the way down to the floor. Here we are finding some slight compression in that bottom hip. Check in here with the quality of your thoughts, recognizing how thoughts might be moving into your awareness and out. Relaxing the whole body. In the comfort of your own mind, I'll invite you to repeat something that is true for you, bringing your mind back to this practice. I am practicing yoga. I notice my body on the floor. And maintaining this heavy and softness, we'll slowly let go, returning the torso all the way up, affording yourself a pause in between, and then taking both legs out in front of you. Both feet come to the floor. We'll take our hands behind us, push into the floor, and send the hips up. And you might move up and down a few times, just inviting energy and fluid back into your tissues. And then see if you can orient your fingertips forward towards your feet. Return to center and switch sides. So our right leg is underneath, taking the right heel all the way over to the hip. Crossing the left leg over top, inching the heels as close as they can over your legs. Beautiful. And then again, just adjusting and finding a fold forward wherever you notice interesting sensation. And if your mind is beginning to focus on things outside of this practice, afford yourself grace and bring the attention back. A few more breaths here, relaxing where you can, observing what moves by, and allowing it to be. Returning the torso slowly back up. Recognize how the spine lifts as you reach the head towards the ceiling. Arms are going to reach out wide, and then we're going to cross our right arm over the left. Perhaps Bringing our hands to our shoulders or interlacing the fingers. Draw attention back to your senses, orienting your brain to the sounds you hear through your ears, recognizing the texture of the mat beneath your legs and the clothes wrapping around your body. One more breath. And then beginning to unwind your hands, sending your hands behind you. Lean your weight back and send your left leg behind the body. The left knee is somewhere close to the right foot. Doesn't have to be all the way together. And then we'll twist the torso over that right hip, coming down onto a pillow or a block or any other support you find useful in your practice. Over time, you might allow more sensation by folding deeper, or you might invite less sensation by moving the body out. Spend a few more moments here, lengthening both sides of the waist with every breath and softening any areas of resistance. Exhale and release the breath. Maintaining effortless motion. Lift your torso back. Begin to send your hands behind you and take the legs out in front of you. Our feet are going to come together. Our knees will part wide. And finding a fold that feels suitable for you, you can always cushion behind your legs with blocks. And over time, perhaps letting the spine round and sending the torso forward. Observing the practice of yin as a pathway to introspection, to the chance to be present with your habits, to recognize your truths. How might you let go of what no longer holds you to your truth? Inhale, lift the body back up. Exhale and pause. Going ahead and making your way onto your back, removing any support out away from you. And I'll invite you to take a block to the back of the neck. So this block is going to rest on the very base of the skull, just providing a little bit of myofascial release for the spine. So your feet can stay flat on the floor or long, you can choose. Guide your mind back to the quality of your breath, the fluidity of this pattern of breath, moving in through your nose and out through your nose. Recognize how it feels to have the back plane of the body resting on the floor. Begin to turn your head over to the right. You might adjust the block and tilt the block to the right as well. Finding a little bit of sensation behind the right ear. Shifting the neck back through neutral and tilting the head, tilting the block to the left. Welcoming yourself back to stillness and quiet. Inhale and return the head back through center. Slowly remove the block and rest the head back onto the floor. Draw your knees inward towards your chest, letting the back of the body floor side to side. Begin to take circles with your knees, moving your knees out, torso, together and away. And then return your feet to the floor. Take them as wide as your mat. Open your arms off to the sides. And knock your knees over to the right, finding a slow twist. For those looking for more stretch in the upper body, I invite you to bend your elbows and taking a wide cactus shape with your arms. Embodying softness and heaviness through the tissues in the body. Continue observing your breath, lengthening the left side of your body with every inhale and relaxing any tension with every exhale. Your arms can move back to a comfortable position, and one knee at a time, begin to return them back up towards the ceiling. Before we move to the second side, let's inhale, reach our arms behind us, and exhale, float the hands down by our hips, palms touch the floor. And do that twice more. Inhale, arms overhead, shoulders stay heavy. And exhale, float the hands back down. Moving over to the left, keeping your feet as wide or wider than your mat. We'll twist our knees over to the left. Arms return back wide, taking up space. Giving yourself permission to take up space. Spend 5 more breaths just as you are. Releasing the arms, returning the knees back to center, pausing to recognize neutral, and then beginning to find your Shavasana, your final rest. Extend your legs, perhaps cushion the back of the knees with a blanket. Just take the time to become comfortable. Relax your arms. Let your palms flip towards the ceiling in a open, receptive nature. This final rest of our practice helps us integrate and absorb all of this energy that we moved throughout practice. There's nowhere you need to go or nothing you have to do, but be present with your breath moving in your body and out. Slowly return your mind back to what is true for you. acknowledging the feelings in your body and the thoughts in your head, acknowledging the quality and the depth of your breath, circulating this life-giving oxygen throughout the body. From your head to your toes, begin to extend awareness outward, finding gentle movement throughout your limbs. And taking your time to shift over to one side of your mat. As you are here, allow yourself to rest a few moments longer, softening in gratitude. Gratitude for the practice and the energy that we shared together. Make your way back to a seat. There's no rush. Move as slow as you'd like. Begin to observe the ways in which you might feel different. Observe how you might feel better. And with love and with grace, we hold space and observe the ways that are unchanged or still the same. Allow your hands to move inward over the chest. And from here, I thank you for joining me today, for practicing presence, and for breathing together. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you all. You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Awesome.